Alright, what's up everybody? Mad Hooter here, coming back at you. And today is a especially startling day since we have some nuclear bombs that have been dropped over our free speech. And we'll just address that real quick. So what's happened here, let me get that down there. So what has happened is Alex Jones, several InfoWars channels have been removed from Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. People like Candice Owens getting banned. So anybody that's on the right, the powers that be that control social media, basically the most popular forms of social media, Facebook, YouTube, and I guess YouTube could technically be considered social media. And I think it's probably where most of the interaction is going on these days. At least where conversations are being had, even if it's from one video to another. So I guess technically YouTube is social media. But, outlets like myself, of course I have a very small outreach, but there's other people that we're all pretty, we kind of saw this coming because the censorship with all the adpocalypse stuff. YouTubers, even PewDiePie was hit. Of course, people have been getting copyright strikes over silly stuff, and it's hard to really know what it is you can and cannot get away with saying, which is, to me, you should be able to say whatever you want. First Amendment exists for a reason, and like my son just pointed out before I started making this video, I asked him what he knew about free speech, and as an 11-year-old, I think he's got a pretty good handle on it. He says the people that are against free speech are using free speech to ban other people's free speech. So we've got ourselves a conundrum there. And this is a problem. What's gonna happen here is they're gonna make Alex Jones out to be a martyr. And I don't hate Alex Jones. I I think he's funny, and I think he does it on purpose. That he goes on the rants and he bangs on the desk, and the gay frogs and all of this stuff and the chemtrails and interdimensional child molesters, they're coming for us. And yeah, let me tell you something, Joe. Uh, I think I've never met Alex. I did meet him once, I guess about 7 years ago, and I was at a Doug Stanhope thing. Alex Jones was there, and there's actually a video on YouTube. I was there that night, and a couple of guys lose their mind, and Doug kind of rides herd on the whole situation in his own sort of way. Anyway, that I shook Alex's hand for a second, and that was it. But I know people personally, and I'm not going to name any names, but I know a lot of people personally that work at InfoWars, and they're good people, man. They're not Nazis. They're not crazy. Some of them aren't even that big of a conspiracy theorist. So that being said, I don't spend during the last election cycle, I was probably clicking on InfoWars more than I usually do, which is not a lot. Because honestly, by looking at all the coverage and looking at other things and following polls and watching stuff, I thought InfoWars had more of an honest approach to what was going on. But anyway, whether you agree with Alex Jones or InfoWars or not, free speech should be an absolute thing in the United States. Other countries, I mean, some of these people that, like my son said, that are people that are using free speech against others' free speech, a lot of these people haven't been to other countries where you're not allowed to say things and you can go to jail for saying certain stuff. Now, if you think that that's something that we should have in America, then we have an ideology problem that I'm not going to agree with. I think that people should be able to say the most disgustingly vile, racist, hateful, thing ever, and we should not be able to silence them. Beyond calling for acts of violence, or say, the one that everybody likes to say, yelling fire in a theater, with those exceptions, I think you should be able to say anything else. And violating our free speech is stomping on our Constitution and stomping on our Bill of Rights. And I don't think I've ever seen a time in America where people are so uh, enthusiastically calling for taking some of our rights away, whether it's guns, speech, whatever. Even, I mean, white people, I mean, white people are being attacked so hard, man. And it's, so much of it is so unfair. And I can't say this in any more of a calm way without getting really mad about it. Because somebody said, maybe it was Scott Adams, but he had a great point. He said, white people are the most untapped resource for minorities. Because white people usually really want to do nice things. They want to be nice. I live in Texas and I travel all over the place playing music. So if you don't know, I'm a musician. And I meet all kinds of people and I see them, all kinds of different white people, all kinds of different Asian people, all kinds of everything. And white people are usually just cool. They're just trying to go about their business and not be assholes. Now there are some, like I said, I live in Texas to where people say, oh, people in Texas they're big old assholes and they're loud guys with guns and big ass trucks and stuff. And I'd say, yeah, that exists, but it's not the mainstream of what people in Texas are. White people in Texas. Hell, there are plenty of ranchers, farmers, guys out here that are Hispanic, but they are some America loving Texas big truck driving, rifle rack in the truck dudes. And they are the nicest people you ever run across. They love everybody. And that's just kind of how it is in Texas. I don't see a lot of, maybe I'm in some bubble, but I don't think so because they get out a lot. For my job, things that I do, I talk to people. I don't see all of that racism. I don't see it. Every once in a while, I'll run across somebody that says something. I'm like, dude, did you really mean that? Or you? And usually they're just playing, So and that's fine with me. So I don't know how I got off on that tangent, but um, this whole thing with YouTube banning people, I know that people don't see my channel anymore. I know that I'm being shadow banned. I've gotten copyright strikes for my own material that I put on my own songs. They slap me with copyright strikes and threaten to take down my channel. And I know people aren't seeing my videos anymore. But that's okay. I'm going to keep making them as long as YouTube continues to be a platform. And I hope that anybody watching this that hears my voice will get out and speak out against this censorship. You can't take people down. Dudes like Outlaw Morgan, he's been kicked off of Facebook I don't know how many times. Yes, he's brash. He's abrasive. He does it on purpose. That's his personality. But I've never heard him called to violence or whatever, and that's what they're trying to say that Alex Jones is doing. I've never heard Candice Owens, who I drastically don't agree with on plenty of different levels, but I've never heard her called to violence. I think Candice Owens is fake as hell, but and she can holler back at me, and we'll talk about it. But that whole doxing website thing was baloney, and I think she handled it wrong, and she never really offered an apology. And for me, that's kind of like that's a deal breaker. But it doesn't mean that when she says something that I agree with that I won't be supportive of that statement. I just, in general, I don't trust her. So there's that. We need to make sure that people are not being shut down. And I know that people have this, well, YouTube is its own company and it is allowed to create its own bylaws and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm saying right now, fuck that. We should make YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, absolute free speech zones. If we have to have, which I hate that these words are going to drip off my fucking tongue, but if we have to have the government step in and make these things, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, blah, 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 make them public utilities, then that's what we got to do. But we cannot be censoring people. And I know that they're doing this because they don't agree. They don't agree with the politics. And I know they keep liking to throw the whole Sandy Hook thing at Alex Jones. It's weak. You know, there's nothing wrong with questioning what's going on. And I know people have this thing, oh, well, dead kids died and things like that. And well, does that really matter? Does Alex Jones saying that nobody died in Sandy Hook and it was a false flag event, does that make anybody less dead? Does that make I mean, it's just not, it doesn't really have any effect. And here's the problem here's why I think that they're pushing for the censorship is because their ideas are bad ideas. People generally, leftists, and I can't say people on the left because I used to consider myself one of those now. These days, I am considered a jackboot, right-wing Nazi nut job or whatever, just because I believe in the Constitution. That used to be, I mean, my positions used to be pretty damn liberal. I'm anti-drug war, those kind of things. I really hate race arguments at all. I hate people bringing it up. I just wish people would stop caring about their identity. And that's this identity politics crap pushed me away from the left. Anyway, their ideas are so far out there now. I mean, they're talking about abolishing ICE or whatever. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. You can abolish ICE, but we're still going to have border patrol. We're still going to have to. You're going to still have to have some kind of immigration control. You can't just throw open the gates. People don't want to understand that if you just open the gates, there are bad things that come in. Yes, there are good things that come in. But some of the bad things are so bad. We want to talk about gang violence, rapes, murders. These things happen. You cannot deny them. But that's why they want to shut people like Alex Jones up. And anybody that's on the right, they want to shut them up because they're like, you can't say that. You can't point out these bad things. Because we're pointing out ways that we think that you're bad people for pointing it out. I mean, you see what we've gotten ourselves into? It's a cesspool of regressive thought process. And some of these people can't think themselves out of their own front door without having somebody tell them what they're supposed to think today. So, that was sort of a roundabout rant on this free speech thing. I'm a free speech absolutist. Say whatever you want to say. Don't call to violence, and we're good. If you try to censor people, I find that fascist. Sorry, I find it fascist. The jackboot never cares whose throat it steps on. And eventually, the jackboot is coming for you. If you are a leftist, if you're one of those people, they are coming for you eventually. This happened. I saw it back in the day with the PMRC. If you don't know what it is, look it the fuck up. We sort of came out with a win because we got a parental advisory sticker on all of our records, which made kids want to buy that stuff more. And that's why people are gobbling up Alex Jones. They're going to make him a martyr. They're going to gobble up Alex Jones now because now it's taboo to go and check out Alex Jones. You're not going to shut Alex Jones up. He's syndicated all over the country on radio shows. He's got millions of followers. He had millions of hits every day on YouTube. You're not going to shut him up. He'll just go to Gab. He'll make some other platform big, and then that'll be it. And YouTube will be finished. If Donald Trump hops off of Twitter and starts using like Minds and Gab, I think Twitter's going to take a big kick to the wobbly bits. And if they do it to themselves. Facebook is losing big time. And now they're making it worse. They're kicking people off the platform. So, I mean, and these people that they're kicking off, they're going to wind up becoming heroes. They're the ones at the front lines taking the first rounds of bullets right now. And as much as I don't always agree with Alex Jones, I mean, you can't shut him up. It's just ethically wrong. It's immoral. It goes against the fabric of what our country was supposed to be built on. Which, by the way, leftists don't care. They want to change all that. They want to destroy that because they think America is a hateful, built, everything is built on racism and slavery and the God and all the negative things that we can also ever come up with. It's all negative. They're so negative. And then they want to talk, it's love. We just love. No, you don't. They hate so much. They hate white men. They hate cisgender, whatever. They're full of hate. And I, for one, am not going to deal with it. I don't hate them. I just think they're wrong. And I think they're wrong on such a deep level for me, philosophically, morally, ethically. I think they're wrong. And I'm not going to shut up. So there's that. So I hope you enjoyed that rant. Please check out what's going on. Look this stuff up. There's articles all over the place, so I'm going to keep my eye on it. This is like so close to my my sensibilities that it'll probably be my main thing that I talk about in the next few videos, because I'll probably do at least a video a day on this, and I'm going to keep an eye on it and watch for the blowback, because there will be blowback. Some of these rallies and stuff, people are going to be very angry, and I really hope that cooler heads will prevail and we'll find a peaceful solution, and we can learn how to coexist, really coexist. Actually coexist, lefties. Don't just put the sticker on your car. Learn to actually coexist with people who don't think the way that you do, and really learn to be accepting and loving. With that in mind, I am the Mad Hooter. We'll see you next time. Until then, defend the faith. See you later.